Was Star Wars sort of? I mean, you're a serious. I mean, you do Shakespeare. I mean, this is Star Wars. Was Star Wars like an exciting thing, or was it like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. I'll try that.
Well, how can Star Wars not be an exciting thing, though? Is it? I remember. So I grew up in Hong Kong, and I didn't grow up speaking English, but we had an English-speaking channel, and I remember watching Return of the Jedi, and I was like, "What is this?" And it like blew my mind, and then became a bit obsessed with it all. And I think made me really excited when all the new Star Wars came out, with Force Awakens coming out and everything. I got really excited, so I was like watching those. And then when I was cast in Rogue One, I think I lost it a bit. I definitely lost it a little bit, because it's Star Wars. And also it was like the first non-saga film as well, so it was like actually, as a war film by itself, it's a really good film. I'm not being biased, but I just think it's a really great war film by itself, even if you discount the Star Wars thing. And then you get the Star Wars added, the whole universe, like expanding the universe a bit more from the saga story, and it's just like, it's really exciting. I lost it when I got involved. So, Shakespeare, Star Wars.
Now, you did you get involved because of your friend Ms. Herwick there? She plays Jess Pava, is that right? Or was this?
Yes.
It was just a coincidence.
It was just coincidence. I actually now quite a few people have been involved now, so that's quite cool. But yeah, it was just coincidence. I think I can't really speak for the casting director, but I think she might have seen me in a theatre show and then just thought, oh, why not ask her to come in? And that's what happens.
Now, does being in theater in the round, does that prepare you for going to a Star Wars convention?
I don't know, because it's a very different environment on its own. I thought I was enthusiastic, but people really like this. It really gives people something to hold on to, and it's incredible. I love all the cosplay. I'm just like, where did you get that costume from? How did you do that with your boots? And the knowledge that people come with when they're at conventions, it's just like, it blows my mind. I mean, I've only ever been to a few, not like I'm not a seasoned on the circuit or anything like that. I've just been to a couple, but backstage is really exciting because you get to like meet. I can nerd out. I met Ming-Na Wen, and I was just like, oh my god, it's Ming-Na Wen.
Oh wow, she's awesome.
She's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she saved China, because she was like Mulan in the original Mulan. She was the voice of Mulan. So I was like, I got really excited when I go backstage and see who's there as well. So, yeah.
Did you? I mean, as a little girl in Hong Kong, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you see any path to being one of the pilots in a Star Wars film? I mean, all of us dream of that, and you did it. You were in a cockpit. You blew up a Star Destroyer. Strong work.
Hit that opening.
We see it, Gold Leader. Ion torpedoes away.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky. I was really lucky, and when I found out which line they were, because they gave me loads of lines to record first, and I found out which line they were actually going to use. I was like, oh, I'm going to shoot some ion torpedoes. That's really cool. No, I definitely had no idea that I would be in the cockpit of a Y-wing one day. No, not at all. Obviously, also my mother and my family was quite academic. I'm the only person in the arts, so
Okay.
So my entire family is like really academic, and they were just like, yes, you're going to be a lawyer. And I was like, okay. Well, lawyers just like tends to be people talking in front of people. Oh, I can do that. So became an actor instead. So, yeah.
Robin, maybe you can help us out here. I'm not the Shakespeare enthusiast. You are. Maybe you can help me out here.
Hi, Robin.
So I think for me, my question to you in particular is like that. What was an experience being at the Globe Theater that first time? And just it's such a unique environment.
Yeah, it's the Globe Theatre and Othello means a lot to me because I was actually in Othello. It was my first ever job. I hadn't even graduated from drama school, and I was there as part of the ensemble, and actually I didn't really have that many lines. Luckily since then I have had more, but it's also where I met my husband.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was working backstage and I met my husband at the Globe. But I do remember, so one of his jobs, so the Globe is, the way they design it is very much the same as it was back in Shakespeare's day. Mm-hmm. So all the parts are, they are all timed to how fast you can go from a trapdoor from here to up there, and etc. And my husband's job was to open, because nothing was mechanical about it, or it's just pulleys and stuff. My husband's job was to open the door for me to get on the stage. So he opened the door for my professional debut onto the stage. And I remember going onto the stage, looking out there, because there's 500 people standing in the yards, 1,000, 1,500 people sitting on 3 different levels. I looked out and I just went, okay, right, this is what I do for work now, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Oh, so I think that moment really cemented that, because quite a lot of people do. It's not easy being an actor. Quite a lot of people do drop out along the way, and I think, I've been doing it for 13 years now, so.
Wow.
I'm still here.
Yeah, right. That's what we all say at that point. Wow. Hold on. Let's here.
Gosh. Actually, even with Rogue One, I think with the new franchise, they were really trying to reach out to diversify who they represent on screen,
right,
and stage, and luckily they were like, okay, Asian women. And we are now quite a feature, I think, in the Star Wars universe, which is great, because why can't we shoot down Star Destroyers? Exactly. And just
Dr.
be
Afra's
yourself.
Coming. Yeah, she's
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like, just be yourself and don't be afraid of who you are, because somebody will love your weird.
Yeah, I like that line. That is a great line. Somebody
actually works for writers too. Yeah, somebody will like what you do if you do it well. And as you said, I think the best thing I heard, Robin, was do more than just that art.
Yes.
I'm a better writer because I've had lots of life experiences. I've tried a lot of different things.
Yeah. Because it will inform you.
Yeah. What now? So I'm going to go into the art talk here.
Oh gosh.
What informed you in order to play Wona Goban? I want to know what you were thinking. What did you bring to the character? What in particular did you think you needed to portray in your facial expression?
Do you know what? Okay, this is going to sound so weird, and it's so basic, and it's so much of the time is down to what you're wearing, because what you're wearing is going to how you're going to hold yourself. So I was wearing this heavy, I mean, you only saw me like there, but I was wearing the full works, and it just had all the armor and the helmet and all of those things, and they're not heavy, but they're not light either. So you do have a sort of groundedness about you, and then as soon as the cameras and lights are on, you just know, you can just see what you need to shoot out there. And then I think what the director was saying was just like, your eyes just look so intense when you say that. And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, I think if you can imagine yourself in the situation, which you can't not when you're on set, then you're just going to shoot that Star Destroyer down. You're just going to have to shoot it down. So, yeah.
I find that everybody I've talked to from Star Wars point of view, particularly the pilots, all of you pilots are very much in the realm of real people with an understanding of real people problems. And I think that's part of what I love about all of you pilots is that each of you has your own story. And then they did this great job of fleshing out your character in the book and on screen. And was that weird? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't know how much you were going to be in. And Benji Hartley said he went down and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the book. You know, they gave me a call sign." And and then he said being able to be in some of the scenes, and it was just such a surreal, fun thing for somebody who had been a Star Wars fan. When did it hit you? When did it become apparent to you that you really were part of canon, and that it's going to last for a lot longer than
just that a few days? And I don't really know. I think when it came out, and then because I didn't know which sequence it was actually going to be, because really actually I was in it for just one battle and such a short bit of the battle, pivotal but small. I didn't know how I would feature in the film until I saw it at the screening, and then I was like, oh, I'm really responsible for that. And I do remember the director coming up to, so we were all like waiting around, and then there was Studio A, Studio B. Studio B was like quite a lot of the explosives and happening, and then they were like, yeah, you can totally go and have a little watch. And I was like, oh, that is so cool. And I saw like stunt people, things like blowing up and stunt people flying all over the place. And the director just like whispered in my ears, like, yeah, you did that. Yeah. What? I haven't even shot my bit yet. I'm still waiting. That no, you did that. Oh, okay. I don't really know where this is going to fit, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think it was when I went to the first screening and watched it and went, I'm literally the final battalion that comes in. Yeah. That and this is it's important, and you always like, I don't know, in like real life, you always feel like everyone like builds it up, and then some big movement right at the end pushes it over to the edge. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm like the cool young people, and comes in and like and pushes it over the edge. That's really cool. So yeah, that was, but it's a huge honor to be part of that film and part of the universe. I just can't believe it.
Was it weird to have I'm assuming that you, just like Benji, you had the hero shots taken, the photography, some stills taken while you were in the cockpit. That's got to be a very long process. And I think at one point you said that it was challenging for your bladder because you were in the kit for quite a while.
Yeah. It didn't feel that long, because until the runner comes, I was like, do you want a smoothie? And I was like, I probably shouldn't, because I can't get out of this on my own. Yeah. And it was, yeah, but it does really inform you what kind of film you're in and what kind of story it's trying to tell. Sitting in the cockpit was actually, wow. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're in a cockpit of actually I was in a cockpit of an X-Wing, and then they digitally changed it afterwards behind me. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know this until I saw it, and then I was like, because I thought I was an X-Wing pilot, and then I was like, actually no, oh, I'm a Y-wing because it's flying torpedoes. And yeah, so yeah, it's pretty.
Well, we spoke to your boss, who was thrilled to be part of Rogue One after being in A New Hope. Gold
Oh
leader
yes.
Angus McGinnis. I don't know if you've met him in person. He's an awesome guy.
No,
And
I haven't.
he's done Shakespeare, but he was saying that when it comes down to moments like that, it's really a job, and you're there to do a job, and you have to just do what you've been trained to do and do it the best you can.
Yeah, you say your line, and then you say your line, and you say it at the right time, and yeah. But it's the coolest job. It is a cool job.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's so. For example, I was really only there for 2 days max, and whereas like there are other jobs that I've done that have lasted. Well, when I was at the Royal Shakespeare Company, that was like a whole year.
Yeah.
So it's like lasted much longer. And both are impactful to my life and my career. But yeah, and both are talking points. So it's, yeah, jobs come and go, but my CV looks really cool.
Do you ever, some of the stuff always ends up on the cutting room floor, and in fact, I think at some point your line was dubbed. Does that bother you? Is that a hard thing as an artist, or is it just part of the job?
I think when you first start out, you're probably like, oh, am I a terrible person? Am I terrible at my job? And why didn't they want me? And all of those things. There are so many different things that happen. I know that my voice was eventually dubbed by Vanessa, and I did actually go in after. I think what happened was they found some footage of Angus and then they used that. So that's why I had a lot more dialogue. They didn't use those because it would be much cooler if the gold leader was there.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, okay. And then they, at the time when I filmed it, they were like, use your own voice. So I've got a British accent. And then when they called me back to do some ADR, they were like, can you do it in American? And I tried my American, and I don't think my American's that bad. But perhaps
care to test it on us?
I don't know. Do you think I sound American at this point?
Yes, you do. Yes, it's fine. Yeah, it's perfect.
However, I think it's just slightly in a different register when I go into American. And I think Vanessa's voice is a little bit more grounded. So for the scores, whatever reasons, they had Vanessa come in and dub me, and that's okay. It's for the film, so it's not really about me. Yeah,
and you mentioned this earlier, that the idea, the way I see it is, watching a Star Wars film for me with my children, it's very good because there's so many different types of characters, and they're doing their best to do better with it. And you mentioned that you and Jess Pava, your friend.
Jess, yeah.
Yeah. That, to me, that's really cool. Because it just felt, if you look at some of the older films, it's very, very one-dimensional in terms of the type of people who are playing the parts. And now we have this great diversity. I know it's not up to snuff, and there's lots of work that needs to be done across the board, but you've got to be proud.
Yeah.
That should be a great thing for you to feel, that you're one of the...
I'm one of the first Asian. I mean, like, there are quite a lot of Asian women now in the universe, and I'm just like, that's great. I'm one of them. But I will always think that. Can you imagine, like, so I'm about to have a child, and if my child doesn't see himself on screen, he's just gonna feel like he's got no place in the world.
Right. Yeah.
But if you see somebody who looks like you, who talks like you, who acts like you, who has your lifestyle and all of those things, then they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can claim my space. And even if for other people, cisgendered white men, seeing different people is like, oh, okay, yeah, there are other people in the world as well. So I'm not going to be so scared of them. Ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am proud of that. And why not? Why do Asian women have to be portrayed in a certain way? Why can't we punch some things, shoot some things, or actually cry, or not be in the kitchen, not be your sidekick best friend, not have all the experiences that people just have. So yeah.
That's great. One last question. So have you seen a figure? Did you get a figure? Have you seen a figure? Have you wanted to find a little figure of yourself, either Lego or whatever?
I've been sent an image of a Lego, but it was just a Lego with my helmet.
What do you mean? It's just a Lego? There's no, John Bishop Lego. I mean,
I'm like, but where's the money?
Yeah.
Lego, where's the money?
Very good. Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, it was kind of cool. And like, I've got a friend in Hong Kong. He's really into his Lego building, and he's been trying to find me. And he was like, "Is this you? Is this your helmet?" And I was like, "No, it doesn't look like that. Mine has the thing on the side." And he was like, "Okay, I'll keep looking."
Do you know if you survived? Benji knows because Benji they say Red 7 checking in, so he knows he survived.
Wow. I don't know quite a lot. I think oh god, I'm gonna have to be one of those ethnic people that got sacrificed, isn't it? No, I don't know. I really don't know.
You need me to call up San Francisco? I'll call him up and I'll tell him, hey, what's going on over here?
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't know.
Well, I have a challenge. I've got to find you.
I really hope so because But then I don't know. It's quite a heroic thing, and it's quite martyrdom is also pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, you took down a Star Destroyer and then checked out. Like, hey,
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.